Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. We've been trying to get this young lady on here for a little bit, and we're very excited to have her on. Sandra Henry is here from ReachBack Foundation. We're going to hear her journey. I love the title of this show. We give a fish while teaching how to fish. I love that. That has so much meaning to me. I absolutely think that what they do in the community is such a blessing. And so we're going to hear Sandra's story and hear all about ReachBack Foundation. Welcome, Sandra. How are you today?
I'm great and happy to be here today.
I'm super excited to have you. We got the technology set up this time.
Yes.
We're all looking good today. All right,
Thank
so
you.
before we went live, I told you that the audience loves origin story. They want to know about Sandra. They want to know about your journey, which you have an amazing one. So let's start there. Give them a little 411 on your background.
Yes, I'm from Orlando. I'm a native Floridian, which is a rarity these days. I grew up in the Washington Shores area. I went to Jones High School. I sung in the choir. I traveled with the choir. I'm a teenage mom as well. I had my first child at 16 and I had my fourth at 23. I still attended college. I owned several businesses. I owned a salon, a restaurant. I became a professional chef for athletes. I did events all over the states for 2,000, 20,000 people. I've always had a passion, even as a child, working with the elderly. My aunt was the neighborhood lady we all called Auntie, but that was my aunt. There was no blood, but that was my aunt. And I used to help her write out her receipts for the church for her offering. And I realized she would have me read her mail and all of that. And I realized I was in college at the time that Auntie couldn't read. So when I discovered that, I found our local community center was offering reading for seniors. So I got her enrolled. And my duty, when you became 16 and you got your driver's license, you took Auntie grocery shopping. And that was every Saturday. But that consists of, if Publix had a sale, you went to Publix. When Dixie had a sale, every sale item you went to each store. So your whole day was consumed with Auntie. But I loved it. And that's when I started my mission. And I also got involved with some organizations in Orlando with some beautiful women from the community. They embraced me. I was a teenager and I was before my time, as old people would say, very advanced. And I didn't let being a teen mom or a young mom stopped me from my vision and my goal. So we had a journey, and I prayed to God to allow me and my kids to be an example, to be able to go back and give back. And that's why I named the foundation ReachBack Foundation. My sons and two boys from Jones was selected through People to People Sports Ambassador to go to Europe. My oldest son had played basketball representing the U.S. in Spain, and my youngest son in Australia running track. And it was an eye-opener trying to raise money. The lack of support was insane. I mean, you'll get a raffle ticket from SeaWorld or Disney, and you need money, and I reached out to the community, but God made a way. My oldest son he was able to go. So I said, you know what? I need to start my own foundation. There's nothing for good kids. There's funding and everything for troubled kids, but there's nothing for good kids that's trying to stay focused. And that's how it all started. Back in 2004, when we had those four storms with Charlie, I discovered the kids were staying in hotels because I was doing some hauling for FEMA. I'm an entrepreneur. If I see a business opportunity, I jump on it. Yes, I saw some guys pull up with a truck and trailer, and they told me they was working for FEMA. They said, get a truck and trailer, we'll put you on. And I had my son and his best friend to run it while I run the salon. And that's when I discovered these kids staying in hotels. They were homeless. And I was going through a transition myself with flood. So I decided, because God laid on my heart, to give these kids Christmas gifts. And my goal was just to give them maybe 4 or 5 items. We end up giving these kids 15 and 20 items. My customers start bringing in bicycles. The people I met through FEMA gave me bicycles. I mean, it was insane. My salon looked like a bicycle shop. And when we got finished, we pulled that truck and trailer up and gave those kids at least 10 items each. It was beautiful. And that really set the tone for me, because the gratitude, people are suffering. And it's just really sad how people can turn a blind eye. And I understand, when you have money, you want to make sure you put it in the right place because there's so many people not doing the right thing. And it's just so rewarding, even with my grandkids. My grandkids, these toiletry bags I'm getting ready to show you, my grandkids made it. They go out and distribute food in the community. We're all hands on deck. My 84-year-old mom, she's hands on deck. We love what we do. We get our reward from the smile on a kid's face. The seniors, you have a problem with seniors that are having to make a choice between pet food and their medication. So they're eating pet food because they can't afford food. So food is a very serious issue. We had 2 major events at Camping World Stadium last year. The first one, we gave away food for 3,000 people. The second, 5,000 people. I needed a refrigerated truck. I got a small grant. It blessed me with a refrigerated truck. Now we have a big mission that I'm so close to. So close to. We found some property because rent is
Oh yeah,
out.
let's talk about the property, right?
Oh yes, this property is everything I can imagine. It has 12 buildings. Well, no, at least 8 buildings. It's on 87 acres and it has everything I need. I could do a thrift store. I can do the food pantry. We're having a school there as well. We're having STEM programs, fiber optics. We want to have courses in the community that are life-changing opportunities that's going to happen and help families through generations upon generations, not just a GED, which we'll offer that as well, but we want to give them proper training where they can make 6 figures and really make some money to sustain themselves.
Sandra, I want to talk about the building. I want to talk about your fundraising on that, but we got a lot of questions, so I want to throw them at you. What does it mean we give a fish while teaching to fish how to fish?
We give people food and we also give them education and knowledge. We give them the resources they need to sustain themselves because you have programs that, yes, you can come get a hot meal or you can get food to take home. But when I had my summer food program, we had over 100 kids coming in a day. And that's when I realized when you bring on a child, you bring it on a whole child. We had kids that was coming in sleepy. And I'm like, why are you sleepy? Well, I'm sleeping on the floor at my aunt's house. So we start getting furniture. Then they needed shoes. They needed toiletries. So it's a package deal. When we embrace families, we want to take care of their total needs, whether encourage the mom through job training, helping them get a GED. They need furniture. They need food. They need clothing. It makes a difference. I'm a single parent of 4 kids from the projects. I know what it takes to get from point A to point B and to get to the next level. You need really someone to embrace your entire needs and motivate you to get you where you need to go. I feel
and
like
you do this. You do this
yes,
regularly.
This.
Like
yes,
people are commenting. You can't see it. People are commenting, and they're like, "God, she's a beast. She's a one woman, amazing bulldozer who's going to make sure this stuff gets done no matter what." But I have to ask before we get into the building. I have to ask, what's the motivation? So what is it like for most people who get into nonprofits and giving back? You either you were raised with the spirit of it, which apparently you were because your mom is super involved.
Yes.
But what is the motivation for you? Is it because you needed help and somebody helped you and therefore you want to give back? Or is it just because you see the need in the community and you were gifted from God with that ability to go in and figure out how to help people?
I feel that this is my calling from God, number one. You have to love this to do this because it's not easy. There's a lot of challenges with being a nonprofit and getting the support that you need. We're not a household name like Goodwill and Salvation Army and United Way, so it makes it very, very difficult to get support. I wake up 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm on a computer. My grandkids say, "What are you doing, Nana? Are you fishing?" They say yes, because I'm throwing out nets to see what I'm gonna catch. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a collaboration of things. I grew up in the projects, but my mom was very good. We didn't have the typical project life. She was a seamstress. We wore designer clothes. She made them. I was in pageants and fashion shows. And of course, I was introduced to, I don't know if you know Pam Powell. Pam Powell and Barbara Burns were my mentors. So I was impressed by good people, and I know what it needs. And I've been there. I walked in their shoes. So I know you're frustrated. You're drinking. You're doing drugs because you don't see a way out. There's a way out. That the drugs, the drinking, it's temporary. So people need to have hope. They need someone to come in and show them how to do it, and not to give up on them. Because it's critical, and especially in this pandemic, it's even worse. It's insane because I get people when we do our pop-up distributions. We go to shopping centers, senior facilities. We go to apartment complexes. I may pull up in Pine Hills in a shopping center, put signs out, free food, lines all around the parking lot. Camping World Stadium. We do Inglewood Community Center. We gave away 702 turkeys for Thanksgiving, 250 to Jones High School, Inglewood Community Center. We're all over the place making sure that not just one community eat, different areas eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to spread it around because I noticed when I had my food pantry, a lot of times you get repeat people, which is okay. But because the quantity that we gave away, we had people drive as far as Titusville, because my goal was not to just give someone a dented can of corn and a cake and bread. I wanted to make sure that you got enough food that that money could be used, that you would buy your groceries with to pay your bill, a light bill, car insurance. My boys played sports. They needed cleats. They had big feet, big hands. It's expensive. You know what I'm saying? So I understand something that simple can make a difference. It can make a big difference. Just freeing up
changes lives.
Yes. And it gives them motivation. And then they want to get in part. A lot of my volunteers, they were people that came out and now they're fine. They were able to sustain themselves. So they volunteer. People need help. And
they need help. And I think what you do is you have lived it, so it's so much more relatable. That's why I love when you come on when people come on the show like you, because you've lived it. This isn't just some wild hair that you got and you have no idea what you're doing, and you're just trying to give services. You think that's what people want. You're actually giving them a service, providing them an opportunity that they wouldn't normally have. So talk about the building, and then I want you to be able to show your fun wares that you're going to put on camera. But talk a little bit about the building.
The building.
10 retirees.
Yes, the property has several buildings. It also has some land, and I spoke with the county about it. I would be able to put at least 6 to 8 duplexes on there for affordable housing. That's the goal for next year, but we need to get the building. We are fundraising. We were initially raising $10 million. I'm working with the bank attorneys that are in possession of the properties to work out a deal. I'm also working with the city and county to get funding from them. We're also working with a lender that if I'm able to generate so much revenue, they'll back us on this as well. But it's in a community zone. It's in one of the community zones in Orlando. It's an area that's in need. A lot of focus is on certain areas in Orlando that's close to the arena and downtown, but some of these areas on the outskirts are really being neglected. And that's why the benefit of me being mobile, I'm able to go out and see firsthand what's going on in the community. Even like when we had our summer food program, it was at a church. And we had kids as young as 3 years old. I had programs. They had to go on stage. If you couldn't do number, dribble a ball. If you only could sing a verse. If you read a poem. Because I was getting the shyness out of them. I said, I'm grooming you for public speaking. We're not dealing with this shyness. You're going to learn how to speak. Do what my mother said. Look me in the eye and open your mouth. So we really work with them. The kids
we love your mom. I want to meet your mom. I love that. That's awesome.
Now, one more thing. We worked heavily with these kids on budgeting. They had a project they had to do. Go home the next day. They had to research what a 1-bedroom would cost. Call OUC, see what the basic utility rate would be, what job you need to have to support those expenses. Cable, gas, car insurance. And some of them will come back and say, wow, I can't just work at McDonald's. I said, no, your goal is to own you several McDonald's. And that's what it takes, because kids
Yes.
are watching movies, they're watching videos, and it's all an illusion. It's not real. So I keep
Well,
it
they
real
don't.
with
They also
them.
haven't had. They haven't had anybody till you. Most of them. There's got to be somebody who's setting an example, or at least showing them what
Yes.
they could do
Yes.
if they change their dynamic from. And this is all kids. It's
Yes.
guys. It's not just inner city kids. This is just
Yes.
kids in general. You have to
Yes.
show them how it's not as productive to spend your entire day playing Pokemon Go or whatever it is that they play now. You have to spend a lot of time really focusing on what you want to do. Doing those games is such a short-term fix for
Yes.
what might be helping you get through whatever you're going through. But I can tell you from a long-term perspective, an organization like Sandras gives you the tools and the ability to get out of that, to break free from that cycle of whatever you're doing and actually be productive and grow, and make the money you want, provide for your family like you want, have the career you want, eat the food you want. So that's why that we give a fish while we teach the fish is so important.
It is vital. It's vital. We give kids, I teach the kids and I explain to the parents, I say, do I have your permission to talk and treat your kids like I do mine and my grandkids? They say, go ahead. I give them assignments. How much time do I do a survey? First of all, what do you do in your spare time? Oh, well, they're on the internet, of course, they're FaceTiming, they're doing all these games and all of that. And I sit down and show them how much money they could have made with that same amount of time. I said, it's okay for you to be on chat, whatever these little chat apps are and different things that you're doing, but I want you to do research. You have to do research, each and every one of them, on certain jobs. I want them to be, I'm giving away some sewing machines because I want to stimulate some kids on being fashion designers to open up their creativity. Also, I have them try to figure out how to invent something. What is a patent? What are the steps of getting a patent? I mean, I'm taking it deep with them because I'm expecting high expectations, and especially with this school. We're going to open this school and we're doing future leaders. We're going to turn these kids into productive.
How can you not be motivated by you?
You know,
you're motivating. You're very motivating, and I love the way that you are approaching things. You know, a lot of times people come on and I'm trying to drag stuff out of them. I love the fact that I barely had to say 2 words because you have a passion, and no, that's a good thing because it's not about me, it's about you and what you're trying to do. To show them the stuff before we head out of, we got some stuff we're going to put up.
These are basket bags that we're using to make Mother's Day bags. A couple of years ago, we did $250 for a dealership in Polk County because I do service Orange, Seminole, and Polk County. These are toiletry bags. You got soap, you got bath bombs, you have nail supplies, all type of items in these bags. We're also putting in Russell Stover chocolate, some good chocolate, and we have washcloths, real terry washcloths, hand towels, and this is the best part, life-size luxury bath towels.
Nice.
And in addition to that, we're putting in snacks. And we got these cute Disney mugs for them to put their cappuccino in, their coffee in, and we're doing hand sanitizers. We're going to put in masks. We're going to fill these bags up, you know, and this is what we do. I put a lot of thought in what I do, and I wanted to make sure that we were addressing different needs. You'd be surprised how many people need toiletries, especially the
just
homeless.
The basic clean, beautiful towel is beautiful.
Yes.
All right. So tell people the best way for them to donate to you, to get involved in the building fundraising, to get involved in ReachBack Foundation. What's the best way for them to reach you?
They can go to reachbackfoundation.com, which is our website. And on the website, there's a donate button. We also have Cash App, which is $reachback715. I better verify that. I don't use it often, but everything is on there. And they can call me 321-217-7017. Our email address is reachbackfoundationinc@gmail.com. Again, the website is reachbackfoundation.com, and we do have the Cash App. It's $reachback28. Let me grab a card real quick.
We'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
But what I want people to do, I want you guys to know that Sandra is obviously one of the best spokespeople for a nonprofit I've ever had on the show. I mean, the stuff that you know is amazing. Get involved. Don't just go donate money if that's what's on your heart, and I want it to be on your heart. But get involved, do more, give back, help Sandra and her team reach their goal, because the people that they're touching are falling through the cracks of other services that we offer in our world. And you think that everybody has it all down, but they don't, which is why what Sandra and her team at ReachBack Foundation do is so critical. All right, so you're amazing. Thank you. You could do your own show. I didn't even need to be here.
Oh, one last thing. I want to make sure people understand this would be the best use of their money. We're talking 87 square feet of property, 8,700 square feet of property, and also 8 acres. I mean, this is a huge piece of property that can, and we will be self-sufficient because we'll have the thrift store. We could do bake sales. We could sell dinners. We can have seniors come in and feed them for free. We're going to have culinary art classes where the kids will be making food for the school. They'll get their certification and food for us to deliver door-to-door drop-offs at senior facilities and for kids after school. So this is a great investment. And it's not just one demographics. We'll be covering the entire Central Florida area. Like I said, 8 buildings, a church, land to build on for affordable housing next year. This is the best use of money because I know people that are paying $7,000 a month in rent in warehouse space. That's not a good use of money from my perspective. I'd rather take that money and own the property. So that's what we're trying to do. Get a property that will self-contain us and help develop a community and do what God has called us to do.
Amen. The one and only Sandra Henry, ReachBack Foundation. Go to reachbackfoundation.com. Reach out to me. We've tagged her. They'll get involved. These organizations do so much to touch our community and help the people that we all love and interact with all the time. I'm telling you, you don't know how many people actually benefit from this kind of service that you actually go to church with, that you see at work. It's not just a funny demographic you see on TV. This is the world we are helping, and Sandra's doing it one step at a time. Thank you, Sandra, for being on the show. We love you guys. Mwah.
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank you.